Now guys, it's time to break down the next episode of Dragon Ball Super, and before we go any further, I have to tell you all that this video is going to be containing some spoilers. So now let's begin. First, let's start with the staff that is going to appear in the next episode. The writer, Toshio Yoshitaka, is responsible for the script on this episode, and he is well loved in Dragon Ball community, especially for the way how he writes Vegeta. Toshio's latest work with the show has been the episode 115 where Goku fights Kefla, and in the end of the episode we see the trigger of Ultra Instinct. Other episode that he has written is the Kobe or Kobo episode, which was episode 112, and also episode 104, which is the episode inspired from Toyotaro's manga where Goku switches from Super Saiyan God to Super Saiyan Blue. In general, Toshio is very good, so expect something great when it comes to write the storyboarding. This episode will have Yoshitaka Yashima, who usually is animation supervisor and key animator, but he has also done the storyboards, and his most iconic, in my opinion, is episode 115, in which Toshio worked, as I said before. The job there was really fantastic and beautiful for the eyes. Another reason to look forward for the episode. This guy is damn good. As for director, Iwai Takao is going to be the director for this episode. He has worked a little bit on storyboards for Dragon Ball Super, but in general he has always been the episode director. Iwai Takao has already worked in 2 episodes with Toshio on Tournament of Power, those episodes being episode 104 and episode 112. Both episodes were very good delivered, and as it seems, we are in for great episode. As for the Animation Supervisor, this episode will be supervised by Yui Hakamada and Yuichi Kawasawa. Hakamada is an old school Dragon Ball animator since he has started back in Dragon Ball Z on episode 177, and as for Dragon Ball Super, his last work was in episode 113 where he did the key animation. As for Yuichi Kawasawa, I couldn't find that much information on him besides the fact that his last work was in episode 94 as far as I could find. In general, the staff looks great on paper, and we can expect this episode to be really good. I have my expectations high on this, and I don't usually go in Dragon Ball Super episode with high expectations because they tend to really disappoint. And now let's move on with the preview and break it down. The preview starts while showing to us the big monster who actually is Aniraza. This is a monster in which Paparoni, who of course is the scientist who created the Universe 3 robots, said that he didn't want to use, and that was going to be something that will risk his life. What leads me to believe on here is that Aniraza is a 4-way fusion between the merged robots of Universe 3 and Paparoni himself. They are going to merge and create Aniraza. From the spoilers, we got the name Aniraza, but in actual episode the merged robots were not called that way, so that was a tricky thing as something very smart in Toei's part. And they are keeping things more secret now, and I think that it should always be this way. My idea of Aniraza as a creation is that Paparoni uses his staff to merge with Koichi Rator, and I'm sorry because I don't really know how to pronounce this name, who of course is the robot that was created from the other 3 who merged together. And if you think that this merged robot was thrown out of the stage, then you are wrong, since at the end of the episode we have a little shot where we see Paparoni and behind him stands this merged robot that I don't really want to say his name. This was showed from a brief second, but I assume that the robot was able to actually survive, and in the next episode it will be the reveal, actually the truth behind it. How did this robot survive? But definitely from that shot you could see that the robot is not out of the stage, and on this shot you could see that Aniraza is trying to smack Vegeta, but I definitely believe that Vegeta will be able to actually do that. Then the interesting thing is Frieza has joined the fight, and that is something worthy to talk about. Up until now Frieza hasn't really been that involved, even though he has taken out 5 fighters, which makes him 3rd with the most after Goku, who has 11, and Vegeta, who has 9. Something other worthy to talk about is that as solo and not as a team, Frieza has taken out only one less than Vegeta, because we know that Vegeta and Goku fought together to get rid of Universe 9, and that of course goes as a team thing and not actually a solo. So Vegeta has 6 and Frieza has 5. Frieza actually involved here tells you that the Aniraza is going to be one tough opponent to get rid of, and he is going to cause a lot of troubles. Aniraza on the other side seems to be that kind of opponent who is actually able to manipulate the ki very well, and we can see him being able to use the ki from his hands, and his techniques are actually looking to be very powerful, which makes it even more special for us and also more tough for the Universe 7 warriors that are there on stage. Vegeta now seems to be throwing his ki blast, but the interesting part is that despite fighting such strong enemy, he is only using his Super Saiyan form in order to conserve his power. There are still 10 minutes left, but we all know how long they can actually be for the fans. So given to the fact that everyone is trying to fight here, Vegeta might think that the best way to approach this at first is by being on his Super Saiyan form and not on his Super Saiyan Blue form. Here we can see the destructive power of Aniraza, and that is unbelievable. It's like he's some kind of Godzilla or something like that, which makes it kinda awesome. And here we have Goku saying, "Vegeta, Frieza, lend me your strength." Well, in overall, Goku uses this sentence when he wants to gather the energy for the Spirit Bomb of Genki Dama. But that is not what is going on here. Probably Vegeta and Frieza just don't want to fight alongside each other, which actually makes sense. We all know that there is a tension between the two, and it just makes sense. And of course, now it's going to be up to Goku or Gohan, which we don't know yet, to actually convince them both to join the battle together. And from the preview we can see that it has actually happened, because both Frieza and Vegeta are fighting here. This part here is of them convincing them, and probably this could be around the start of the episode or actually in the middle, something like that, but we know that Universe 7 warriors are going to gather together. And this also marks the comeback of Super Saiyan God transformation that we haven't seen since episode 115. But it was there for a very short amount of time, since Goku had to go Super Saiyan Blue to face Kefla, and later on of course Ultra Instinct. So basically the best use of this episode was Takahashi's episode, which was 114. And now let's just move on. Here we have a shot of Android 17, which looks like he is falling from the stage, and many are talking about him being the next guy to be thrown out of the stage. This could be true, but it also could be something like they did with Vegeta. For the previous episode they showed something like that, Vegeta is falling off the stage, but he is actually not, and I think that it is going to be that way. This is only my personal opinion. Of course Android 17 could be out of the stage, I really don't know that, but I don't believe that. And now the interesting and so talked part is this, where we see everyone but Android 18, and I think that instead of Android 17 we are going to see Android 18 fall off the stage, and it will most likely be around the beginning of the episode when she is thrown out. Their Universe 7 will gather together and basically try to work out a strategy to beat this merged robot. The title of episode clearly tells you that this is going to be a 4-way fusion, and as I explained it before, the merged robots are not out yet, or the merged robot is not out yet, and Pepperoni is going to use his staff and merge alongside them. And I think that something that he mentioned, risking his life, might be something like Pepperoni is still not sure if he can get out of this merge, and he could possibly be living as an Aniraza forever. Basically Aniraza could be an unfinished product, or maybe his body won't be able to endure, something like that. I really don't know what about that, but the concept of this seems to be very interesting. Basically, the preview ends with Goku and Vegeta trying to hit Aniraza, and the interesting thing is that the anime is still refusing to show Vegeta on his Super Saiyan God form, since Goku is using it. I think that this would have been the perfect opportunity for Vegeta to use it too, but as it seems, it is not going to be that way. Well, it is kinda disappointing, but still not a major issue, since we are going to lean away from God's transformations in the future, and they are going to focus on Ultra Instinct. Anyway guys, this was it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe with notifications enabled if you don't want to miss out in any further content. Have a great time, and also don't forget to let me know what do you guys think is going to happen in the next episode. Have a great time guys.